Hey, Marcus, I'm curious what you have learned about Matt Ryan in the last couple of months, maybe things that you didn't know previously.
Um, I mean, you heard a lot of things about him, just, other coaches that you talk to. I mean, the one thing that really stands out just is intensity, not only on the football field, but, in meeting rooms and walkthroughs and just very demanding, in a good way, obviously, getting our guys ready to play and being locked in and focused. He's in total control, is what you want from your quarterback.
Joel Erickson.
Marcus, Frank was telling us a little bit yesterday about how, you guys have talked about JT's workload and trying to keep it from getting too out of hand. Whose role is that in game to kind of keep track of where he is carries wise?
We all have a hand in it, but I mean, Scotty's probably be the one that's more into the more of a rep count of how many touches he's getting throughout the game. He'll be able to track it as the game's going on. But we're kind of have a good feel for how the game's going. Obviously, we want to get him the ball, but we do got to manage and make sure we don't overload him.
James Boyd.
Marcus, how have you seen Jelani Woods grow up throughout camp and just the anticipation of being in that first NFL game? I was talking to him yesterday and he was like, yeah, normally I'll be preparing for, a college game at this point of the year.
Right. Honestly, it started a little slow. Not gonna lie, it started a little slow. And then as we got into training camp and he started getting more and more reps, you could start seeing the light bulb hit and he started playing much faster and quicker. Part of it, he's taking on entire game playbook during training camp because we're practicing different various schemes. And then once he's kind of picked those up, you can just see he's a step faster. He's more confident what he was doing. And so it affected his route running, just looked sharper. So he's continued to get better. Still early process, but he's getting much more confident and playing a lot better right now.
How have you seen Matt Ryan kind of help him bridge that gap? He was telling me yesterday, I was that kid asking for an autograph, and now, I'm expected to catch passes from a Hall of Famer.
Right. I mean, what Matt does a great job is just immediate communication with our guys. They're running a route, or give them feedback right away of, oh, that was good, or hey, let me see you do this instead. Maybe one more rotation, get a little bit more depth here. I break it a little bit flatter, things like that. But he gives them instant feedback, and I think it really helps our guys develop even that much quicker.
Joel Erickson.
Hey, Marcus, with Jack, retired now, and two young guys at tight end, is Mo going to have to play a little bit more, have to take on a little bit more than he did in the past? Him and Jack, split things a lot last year.
I mean, we definitely expect a lot out of Mo this year, and he's going to get his opportunities out there. But we are very confident in our young guys. I think Kylan has had a great offseason, great training camp. He's going to contribute in many different ways. And then, we'll pick our spots with Jelani early, but we want to transition him as he continues to get more experience throughout the games to, contribute and be a little bit more involved. But definitely Mo is going to get a lot more reps out there. Where
have you seen Kylan grow the most?
Really all around. Well, I mean, first off, just confidence, and that's any time with a young guy. He's going to his second year now. He knows the offense, so now he's kind of fine tuning the details of of his responsibility on each play. His footwork's getting better both in the run game and pass game. He's fitting blocks well. He's always going to be a threat with the ball in his hand because he's a guy that's hard to bring down. So a lot of it's just confidence and him trusting himself.
Go a couple more here. Nate Atkins.
With Michael Pittman Jr., just as the receiver room around him has gotten kind of younger, as he's sort of established himself on the field, have you noticed any changes with him, just kind of his personality or his attention to detail that kind of looks like a young player maybe progressing or maturing?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say personality is changing much. He is who he is, but he is maturing. I would say that, yes. And part of that, just again, his growth in the offense, his growth as he's just gaining more experience as a professional. getting more and more detailed into what he's doing out there, his responsibility. We put a lot on his plate, run game, pass game. We put a lot on his plate. So there are times when there's mistakes, but it's because we probably put more on his plate than other players, and he wants that. But he's continuing to get better. And the one thing that you don't have to worry about, he's going to give it. If he's doing it wrong, he's going to give it all he got. He's going to go hard. So you love that about him, and he's cleaning that up. And I think he's going to get off to a fast start here.
And we'll go last one here, Mike Chappell.
Marcus, it's obvious you guys have high expectations for the rookies, Alec and Jelani and other guys. Do you also understand, or I don't know if accept is the right word, that there's going to be growing pains, that they're rookies and there's going to make rookie mistakes, or do you not, or is the bar high that you can't really accept that?
No, we do understand. We understand it's a process. Those two guys that you just mentioned, it's going to be their first, regular season game for them. But we do trust of what they put on film, what they've done in the practice, what we see day in, day out, that these guys are working hard, and, we're going to make sure that we're putting them in good situations to, have success. And, kind of see how it goes. They're going to, one of them is going to take off sooner than the other. It's just the way it is, but we have enough veterans as far as Matt, being able to move the ball around and find the target. So as long as they're attentive to their detail, their responsibilities, Matt's going to help them, be right most of the time.